Are you tired of blundering, losing, and getting bullied in chess? Do you want to know how to destroy your opponents and end their careers? Then this video is for you. I'm gonna teach you the strongest opening of all time in chess. Doesn't matter what your elo is. This is unstoppable, and most importantly, you get to play this opening 90% of the time. Because this starts with e4, e5, knight c3, knight f6, and then you play the last move of the game f4 and black resigns. This is a combination of few openings but mainly focused on the Vienna Gambit. And this is the most feared opening on planet Earth. Even though you are gambling a pawn they can't really take, because then you attack the knight. And knight has no moves, so black must move the knight. But if they play queen e7, pinning your pawn to the king, they are fucking stupid, because it's even better for you. You play queen to e2, which is a useful move in this opening, and again, knight has to move back. Then you must remember after that knight moves, queen h4 check becomes possible. So you need to stop that by playing knight f3. Do not forget that. Whenever their knight moves, your knight comes. Now black needs to get rid of this pawn because their knight is stuck. So they play d6 attacking the pawn. Then you play knight d5 attacking the queen and black will quit chess. Because a pawn and the knight controlling this diagonal. If queen goes here, you play knight c7, forking the queen. So queen must go to d7 or d8. Then you take the pawn with a discover check. If they go here, you take the pawn, and black's only move is to sacrifice the queen. This is called harassment. Black's best move here is to file a case against you. But don't worry, if you subscribe to me right now, I will be your lawyer. Do it now. But if they block in this position, you can win the rook or two pieces. So they can't play queen e7 to pin the pawn. They must move the knight immediately. Then you play knight f3 to stop queen h4 check. Then black will play knight c6 or d6 and you play d4. If they take the pawn, don't take back, instead you play queen e2 pinning the pawn. Your next move should be bishop takes pawn, and then you castle queenside. And just look at your massive development, by the way. If black takes this pawn, which is a horrible move, you take back and play bishop e5 attacking the queen. And after queen moves you play bishop g7, discover check on the king and you win the rook. Those dumbass idiots will cry while you enjoy their pain. This is much better than what you see in other bullshits. So that's what happens if they accept the gambit. Now let's see what happens when they decline the gambit. By the way, I will put timestamps in description. If they play knight c6 to guard the pawn, you can take the pawn, and after knight takes, you play d4. After the knight moves, you should play e5. And now they can play queen e7, because if you play queen e2, the knight comes in. But if the knight was here, then you can, so you should block with the bishop instead. But this is the most played move, and then you play knight f3. Then you can play same moves like before. Or you can pin the knight. If they attack, take the knight and damage the pawn structure immediately. And if they don't play queen e2 after knight goes here now, you play bishop c4. And your next move is to castle short because you are going to attack this. And if they take this pawn attack the knight now, you play knight g5, sacrificing the knight. If they take the knight, you play bishop f7, check queen e2, check rook d1 check, and you get a free queen. They can do nothing but to watch you destroying their entire house. So knight c6 isn't a good move. And the other move you are gonna get is d6. And you will play knight f3. If you get pinned, just keep attack the bishop. If they takes you, take back and then develop the bishop, push the pawn, and you are good. If they take now, just take with the queen. If they take in this position, you play d4, and you will get the pawn back. But if they guard the pawn, you play knight d5. And if they play g5, you can just take it. If queen takes you, will end their chess career by playing an absolutely savage move. Queen takes knight, because after the queen takes you, fork the queen, and you win this pawn finally. Black's best move here is to resign, so black can't save this pawn, and they might try to counterattack you like this. Make sure to guard the pawn. Takes takes, they attack and you castle. After takes takes, they can't take this, because rook e1 wins the queen, and the position is horrible for black. Now you know how to take their...
This starts after e4 from white. You play e5 and they attack our pawn. Then we play knight f6 letting them take the pawn. After they take the pawn you play knight c6 inviting them to take our knight. If they go back you can simply take the pawn, which is why they will take and you will recapture with the d pawn. Then they can guard the pawn or push the pawn, but they will guard it most of the time. Then you will play bishop c5 attacking this pawn and looking for a fried liver. So they will play bishop f5 pinning the knight to the queen, and now it's time to launch our attack. You will play knight e4 taking a pawn, just to give up a free queen because we don't need a queen to destroy them. If they take, make sure to say rest in peace before you play bishop f2 check. king e2 is the only move and bishop g4 is checkmate. And if they take your knight instead of taking the queen, that does absolutely nothing because we still play bishop f2 check. If they take, you take the free queen. If they don't take, we force them to take, then we take the queen. And if they don't take our knight, they will play bishop e3 to stop our attack. Horrible mistake. Now we trade bishops and play queen h4 check. If they move the king, it's mate, so they block with pawn and you play knight takes pawn. If they take the knight, you win the rook. If they don't take, now you play knight e4 discover check on the king, and again if they move the king, it's mate, so they have to block with the rook. Don't take the rook, you will play queen takes pawn threatening checkmate in 1. They have to block again. Queen h4 check again, and now they can move the king, but we play bishop g4 winning the queen. They can't take this bishop because this is mate. Now let's see what to do when they attack our knight. You play knight e4 and they will attack the knight. Then you play bishop c5 sacrificing the knight. If they take bishop f2, bishop g4 wins the queen. If they don't take the knight, you have this checkmate if they don't move pieces around their king. But if they do stop that mate, you always have fried liver. And if the bishop blocks, trade bishops and queen h4 check. Now let's see what to do when they guard this pawn with a knight. After knight c3 you play bishop c5 and they will move their bishop to castle. So if the bishop doesn't come here, you play knight g4 attacking the weak pawn, so they will castle. But now you play queen h4 threatening checkmate in 1. h3 is the only move and you play knight f2 attacking the queen. If they play queen f3 or queen e2, now you play knight h3 double check. King has to move, knight f2 discover check, and white has to sacrifice the queen, otherwise it's checkmate in 1. And if they don't play queen f3 or e2, you win the queen. But if they take the knight here, you take back with the queen. After king moves, play h5, which looks like a stupid move. They should play d3 here to develop their bishop and stop the attack. But then you play the savage move bishop g4 attacking the queen. If they take the bishop, this is checkmate. If they try to save their queen, this is mate in 1. So that's why they should play bishop e2 in this position. Then you play queen d4 threatening checkmate in 1. They will castle. You play knight e4 getting the pawn back, and you have too many active pieces while they have none. Also after bishop e6 you can castle long and launch a killer attack, so congratulations. This starts with e4 e5, these two moves must be played. Then you play d4 gambling the pawn because you are not taking back, and you play c3 gambling another pawn. Now of course they don't have to take, but let's see what happens when they take. After they take, you play bishop c4 gambling another pawn. If they take, you take back with the bishop and you get two killer bishops sniping the king's side, and they haven't moved their any pieces. Then you develop this knight, and if they pin the knight, now you sack the bishop and play knight e5 check. Black can't take the knight because we can take the queen, so after king move you take the bishop with the knight, and their king is very weak. Okay, next line. They might play queen g5 attacking this pawn, but you play knight f3 letting them take the pawn. Then you attack the queen, and this is the only safe square for the queen. Then we sack the bishop because if king takes we fork the queen. So they will move the king, and you play rook g7. If they takes the rook, you take the bishop and their rook is trapped. But if they don't take the rook, now you play rook g3 attacking both queen and the rook. Okay, next line. They might play bishop e4 check and you will block with knight c3. Then they play knight f6 attacking this pawn. You push the pawn and they play knight e4 attacking this knight 2 times. But now we sack the bishop and fork their bishop while attacking this knight, and if they don't take, you play bishop a3, then we take their knight and fork their bishop. You can see how weak is their king. Okay, next line. If they play d5, now you take with the bishop. If they attack the bishop, we can again sack the bishop because if they take we take the queen. So they have to play this, but now we give another check forcing them to take the bishop and we win the queen. But you must remember, if they play knight f6 instead of attacking the bishop, now this don't work anymore because they can give a check while winning our queen. You can already see how deadly this is for black. Let's keep going. when they gives a check you block with the knight, and if they don't play knight f6 like before, then knight f3 castle, then you play knight d5 attacking this bishop, so they have to take the knight. You take back with the pawn attacking the knight, and then you move back. If they don't move these pieces, then you play queen a4 and you will win one of them, but if they move their pieces you still play queen a4 and they will guard this, but you don't care because you want to go here. By the way, if they play this thinking they can guard both pieces with one move, the bishop is trapped. It can't move, so you win the bishop. Okay, but if they move the knight here, then you play queen d4 threatening checkmate. If they play knight f5 you play queen g4. If they move the knight it's mate. If they guard the knight you play bishop d3 attacking both knight and bishop. If they stop the mate you win a free piece. If they don't it's mate. Okay, next line. This is a very aggressive. Play this only if your name is Magnus Carlsen. When they gives a check you play the gangsta move king f1. And if they don't play knight f6 next you win the rook. And if they do, now you attack the knight. If knight e4 then sack the bishop and take theirs while attacking this, but if they play d5 now you give a check. They can't block with the bishop, that's a blunder, so take and their king will never be safe, which is why they will block with the knight instead. Then you push this pawn attacking knight, then you gives a check. Yeah, this is horrible for black. So if they accept the 2-pawn gambit they are dead, but also you can gambit only one pawn, which means in this position you will take the pawn with knight, then you develop this bishop and knight. When this bishop comes, push the pawn and we sack our bishop to take this bishop. And if the bishop goes here we still sack the bishop, then gives a check, this is defended and we win the knight. If they play this here, just push the pawn and knight has to go back. Now it's like the Vienna gambit, queen here, develop knight and bishop, long castle, and black resigns. Okay, next line. Now let's just say they see all of that, so they prevent us from playing e5 by playing d6, which also open the diagonal for the bishop, so we play knight f3 and now they can play knight f6 because this doesn't work anymore. Very smart, right? But now we play knight g5, fried liver. They play the best move knight e5, drop back the bishop. Now they can kick out our knight, or can they? Take and here we go again. If they take they lose the queen, so they go here and we play queen b3, bishop e3, bishop c5 wins the game, but if they stop that this is hanging, and rook d1 wins the queen is trapped, but they play bishop g4. Which stops rook d1 and make an escape for the queen at the same time, 200 IQ move, but our imagination is beyond their understanding, which is why we still play rook d1, sacrificing the rook, at least 1000 IQ, because if they take, this is checkmate, bitch. So they have to move the queen and now they can take the rook because this is not mate, so what do we do? Short castle. Sacrificing the rook again, what a savage move. If they take we take back and they can't stop the mate, queen can't move because this is mate in one, so we bring our queen here, move bishop back and this is mate. And if they don't take the rook, what do? If this, take check and they lose the queen, if they move this pawn this is checkmate. Okay, next line, what if they don't take this pawn? I recommend you to take the full control of the center like this, then develop pieces and castle. And what if they don't take this pawn? Then you play knight f3, take and take, develop castle, you are good. Or you can do this, take the pawn and play f4, if they play queen h4 check you will win the knight. And if they defend it with a pawn, just develop normally and castle. That's how you can paralyze everyone with the Danish gambit, but how do you play with black pieces? Watch this video to learn that.